All right. Hello, everyone. Just getting started here. This is a one-off. It's not my usual stream time. So if we get watchers, we get watchers. But I wanted to build something different. Today I'm going to work on a .NET Core utility, and it's going to be for my live stream. So yesterday I got some great feedback from David Ortnell saying I should have a little ticker thing at the top. Like right now, I changed it so it doesn't show my follower goal. Just had it there because I didn't know what else to put there. You'll see up at the top now, it says Building Twitch Marker Utility. And so I want to be able to annotate my stream as I'm going and just do a little command to update that text. And then also it'll put markers in my stream. So if people don't watch the whole stream, they can come back later and kind of just skip ahead to the parts that are interesting to them. So it should make it a lot better. And also, he recommended I tweet out during those times. So just something to play with. I might be able to get that working. So let's jump to code. Okay, so I switched my screen over to Visual Studio for Mac. This is a new project. I already started on it a little bit before, so there's nothing too fancy going on here yet. I've added 3 different NuGet packages. Let me increase my font size. I've added SimpleAuth, which is my own authentication library. I've added Newtonsoft.json, and I've added the Xamarin plugin settings by James Montemagno. And I'm using the pre-release of that and also the pre-release of my SimpleAuth because I just made a change and I think it will work. We'll see. But I didn't want to push that out to everybody if it wasn't going to work. If not, we may debug it. All right. So the setup of this, I have an auth storage that's set up. This is how I'm going to deal with. Oh, come on, Visual Studio, don't do that now. Let's close Visual Studio and reopen it. As always, I'm running pre-release software, so I just updated to our internal daily build, so it is hot off the press bits. But those crash reports get sent on, and hopefully they'll fix these before it goes live to everyone else. All right, now that I did that, I totally lost all my screens. Okay, perfect. Back. All right, so really simple project here. It has this auth storage, which is how I'm going to deal with storing tokens securely for things. It does rely on the Xamarin plugin setting to actually save those bits. That's how it saves them. And I have a authentication controller. Huh, I might have to downgrade before we continue. That's fun. Joys of being on dailies. Okay, let's downgrade. Oh, I don't think I have I might have side by side installed. I do. All right, we're just going to use the old one. Let's not downgrade live. I was coding for a little bit on it. It was fine, but latest daily has a slight issue. Please bring this window in tinier. Okay, Visual Studio is launching. Let me move my stuff around so I don't keep clicking back to the wrong Visual Studio as it's launching. I have the wrong mono installed for that one, so I'm going to have to downgrade. All right, check for updates. Live coding at its best. Hey, there's another update. Let's install the update. Maybe this one fixes it. Now we get to watch this. Okay, while that's going, I'm going to just open up this in VS Code so we can look at it at least, and I'll finish walking you through my project while we get going. So we're going to open folder stream helper. Okay, load, load, load. All right. So really simple, as I was saying, I have my auth controller. Since this is a console application, I'm not writing anything with real UI. SimpleAuth can authenticate on any .NET project. It's really meant for client-side stuff, so console app's perfect, but I need a way to enter stuff in. So I have this basic authenticator, which will let me authenticate, and I have an OAuth one as well that will let me work with OAuth. All right. Aside from that, I did do a very basic Twitch API. I haven't filled it out at all. All I did was make it to where subclasses an OAuth API from SimpleAuth. And inside of there, oh, did that finish updating? Nope, still going. All right, and inside there, I pre-filled the URLs just to make the authentication nice and simple. API constants. I have this file in here, and I have a real one that I'll switch out, so it'll once I'm done talking about it, so it will show the API keys and stuff in there. And that is the basic setup of this. Let's see if this works this time. If not, we could do it in VS Code. It is just a .NET Core application. There's nothing fancy going on here at all. All right. So inside my main program, for now, I haven't done anything. I want to make it to where it has some parameters. For now, it's probably just going to use that first parameter as the message. I think I described the goal of this. What I want it to do is just put a marker in my stream and twitch whatever that marker is and change that topic. And I also think it'd be fun to get an image. So I'll need to use the Twitch API. Now, since I set that up with Twitch, let me do one other thing in here. So I showed you that thing. If I rename this and reload it, it should give me real live API keys. Let's reload that. And as always, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, or you want me to explain something in more detail, or I'm talking too fast, feel free to ask questions. Or maybe you have suggestions on how to do things a lot better than I am right now. Right now, I'm not doing this truly asynchronously. I am just awaiting that. Let's static async void setup send. We're just going to do this really simple. Message string message. All right. Now what this will do is we're going to have to, it has to be limited to 144 characters. I will grab over, so this register auth storage, this is how I tell SimpleAuth that I want to use that auth storage. And then I also tied into the authenticator saying, hey, when it's time to authenticate, use my authenticator to present the login information. In this case, my authentication controller, what it does is it actually will open the URL. So it actually opens it in the browser and then waits for you to copy the redirect URL back in. It's crude, but it works for console apps. And once those credentials are cached, they'll stay there. I'm not going to ever have to relog back in. It'll auto refresh everything. So let's move this stuff over here. I have this authenticate with Twitch just to make sure it works. We're going to switch this to an await. And one nice thing about SimpleAuth is I already have that API up. I want to touch this markers API. This is the one I want to deal with. Where was that? I thought I had it ready. Create stream markers. Let's get stream markers. Create stream markers. Here we go. So this is the API. I have that scope already specified. So we're going to do a post to this URL. What is the base URL on this Twitch API? I have not set it yet. So what I'm going to do is say base address equals new URI, and we're going to set it to, I'm wondering if is the helix common here? Let's just jump somewhere else. Yes, helix is common. All right. So we're going to say the base address is up to helix. So now we don't have to use that. Now public async. Now we'll just say task. For now, we're just going to say a string. I will deal with formatting that JSON in a minute. And we are going to say update, or we'll just call it post because that's what it is. Post marker. All right, now this post marker, it needs a user ID. So I need to make sure we grab that thing out. So it shows me right here, user ID and then the description. Okay, simple enough. I should be able to get the user ID from being logged in. I hope we'll figure that out. Let me add that. Did I not do it? Nope, wrong hotkey. Nope. There we go. That's the right hotkey. All right, so post marker string Wow, why can't I spell today? I can never spell. Why am I kidding? All right, description, and then this is really, we might do something to get the user ID. Yeah, let's just throw that in here. and I need to figure out how to do that still. So we'll just do that for now. Actually, just do task.fromResult. We'll just send it nothing. All right, so we're going to make this thing asynchronously. Async. We will first did I type async wrong? Wait, get user. What am I doing wrong? I have something typed wrong. Public task string, because everything's freaking out. Oh, that doesn't return, so that's messing up all of the validation from there. See if that updates everything. Public async task. Missing. Anyone see something I'm missing there? Something seems off. Okay, I'm going to close this file and reopen it because something's obviously off with Roslyn. Public task string. That's right. Fastest way to fix it, close the solution and reopen it. Let's get it to clear out that everything in memory because something's definitely off. Okay, that's set right. That closes. This opens and closes. When in doubt, start over. Post data. Now it could have been complaining because I didn't return anything. I bet that's what it was. It didn't have return yet. So if I make this async and I say return, I think that Roslyn was just really confused because I didn't have all that stuff in there. That's what it was. Sometimes that stuff's tricky. I shouldn't have to do that yet. All right, so let's just say await get user ID var ID equals that. Perfect. String description, and then we will also jump over to here and just say the payload now we know needs to, I'll just do return await post. So Gmusic, been talking streaming Gmusic too much lately. Simpleauth has these, in the APIs have these little methods already done there. So post, so I can say new, and we're just going to do a new object, and then I can say the path where that thing goes. And the path is just going to be stream/markers. And now the data I pass in, I need to have, what is it, user ID equals ID, and then they call that description. I'm copying and pasting so I don't spell things wrong, equals description. Perfect. So now I should be able to, once I fix this get user ID, gonna have to read those docs on that. It might come across with the, let's just log in, and it might come across with part of the user data. Actually, let's look at authentication. Let's just double check on that. Oh, that wasn't it. New Twitch API. Sometimes there's a /me thing that you can get to get about your current user. Here we go. All right, so if I check into my own stream, it'll pass user ID, but I don't want to do that. We might be Googling. So what's my Twitch user ID? It's funny that lots of people are asking this. All right, if you have the users login stuff, users login equals this. Aha, nice. All right, we're gonna cache this thing, so we're not calling this out all the time. All right, so the way I like to do that is await auth what we'll do is, I'm going to cheat and grab code from, I did this for Google when I did this for SimpleAuth. SimpleAuth, and here we have source, providers, because I do this for the user information for that, so we don't have to always pull it because it shouldn't change unless you log out. So let's open up the Google one, and I have get user info. Here we go. Okay. So, oh, that one did open. That's right, new one's working great. I'm gonna move my icons around so I don't click on the wrong one again. All right, so let's do something like this for the get the user ID. I had a force refresh in there. So what happens is when we authenticate using SimpleAuth, and I don't even have to parse the JSON like I had to before. So let's go back to my nice little, we're going to just say /users login equals. And so I don't store the username. How do I get the user right? Because with OAuth, we don't actually get the username because we just get tokens back. Which API get currently authenticated user? Okay, user's reference. That's looking good. All right, so get user. Oh, that's what I need. This is much better. Wait, Kraken is not the same API. That's the Twitch 5. Does the user exist in the new one? Man, why do they have to keep changing APIs like this? Nothing in there. Reference. Get user. So maybe it's under get users. Maybe if I don't have either, what will it do? All right, so get users, about one or more specified. I know in like Facebook and Twitter, you can just do /me. Anyone watching familiar with Twitch APIs? All right, we might hit the old API just for that, because that's kind of ridiculous. Where's get me? I mean, we can try doing it with just doing the authentication token and not passing in that. Does that thing say it's required? No, those are both optional. So what if we just do get users and we don't specify any of that? That's what we're going to try. All right, so for now, we're just going to comment this stuff out, and we're going to say await get, and just get without passing anything out will return a string. And the path, we can do the full URL, which this is, or we just have to do /users, and that should do it. rs equals, and I'm going to try catch this thing because it's going to blow up since I'm not try catching anywhere if it has an exception. Right line ex. All right. So now let's switch this. Oh wait. Turn s or we'll just throw it. That's good enough for now. So we put a breakpoint here that makes everything happy. Twitch API. Register. We'll just say send message. Hi for right now. Since that's not actually going to update anything, instead of, actually we'll leave that in there. With SimpleAuth, you don't have to call authenticate on any of these methods. There is an overload for is authenticated, which defaults to true, that property. So by default, if it says it had to be authenticated, it will auto-authenticate for us. So we can leave that there just to show our authentication. Var user ID equals await API dot get user info. Yeah, that's the right one. Line. Any way to debug. User ID. All right. Now I have no idea what's going to come out of that thing. We've got breakpoints, places. We'll make sure we authenticate. So when I run this thing, we'll get a yeah, I'm calling, oh, I should have, no, that's fine. All right, yes, allow. All right, so we get a new thing, which is hello world, sign in. Okay. Off to the side, it did my Twitch login. I'm just going to copy that URL and paste it back in. Run that. Okay, and we crashed. Why did we crash? Or did it complete? Oh, right. Nope, that's on me. So doing this as an async void, it just quit. We didn't actually do anything to like while true. So that's just bad programming on my part. First do dot result for or dot wait. Okay, let's run that again. Gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, so now that we get this, I got the new code. Let's paste that in here. It should, where are we locked at? Okay, what's waiting? Okay, it's waiting on that. Let's put some breakpoints in here. I might not be, okay, so I thought I did. Okay, must not have hit enter in the right area. Okay, we got a URL. We're going to verify it. We are logged in! Yes! It won't have to remember that anymore. All right, so user gives me that stuff. That's just gonna have my tokens and whatnot. Let's call that get user ID. Ooh, yes! Get user ID without telling anybody gives me all my data. Now we need to deserialize that into something useful. Okay. Actually, why did I copy that? I don't want to copy that. Actually, yes, I do. Let's jump this into website. I'm going to use JSON utils really quick. Paste this stuff in here, and it will give me. Aw, what didn't it like? Was my thinks it's invalid. Okay, we're just gonna go to the docs. So the doc says the response. Let's grab this example response and see if Jason likes that better. Could have been quoted text. Yay. All right, C#. Let's add namespace. No namespace. Jason, do that because I like to pretty things up. That looks good. I like it. Now we have a user class. So example class name, we'll just leave it as that. It's fine. So it just gives you a list of properties. Wait, what? Is that really what that looks like? Yes. It gives you, oh, because this is meant to bring back lots of people. So we only need the first one. Right. All right. Jump back to code. Okay, so inside of here, I'm just going to throw this in the Twitch API. We will throw in a new class. And instead of that one, this is called Twitch user. Let's add the using stuff. Sure, get that. Okay, so now this will, oh, they did give it a thing called data. All right. So let's go where I'm at, copy that there. We're just going to call it a list because we're human and a list is nice. All right, perfect. So a list of that. So now, and let's example, horrible name. User info response. Which users? It's plural. Let's make it plural. All right. So now inside of this get users, we can say list. Actually, no, it's not a list. It is Twitch response. So now that'll give us our response. That's not going to work anymore. We can now switch this to be typed instead of a string. Return null. Instead of throwing, so it's not going to throw, we know it'll work. So we'll get our Twitch user response. I don't like calling that. And now what we can do is say var user equals response dot first. Oh no, it's dot data. Or default. throw that in there. Actually, I need to go back to my chat. Yay! All right. So we've got data. Oops, wrong button. We've got our data coming back. So from there, we can use this. If we want this string one, why not? Let's make it nice and simple for us. Var user equals await. Actually, we're not going to do that. That's ugly. We don't need to. So that gets us that to get our user ID. We have our first or default. Let's throw in my little caching stuff here because I like it. So let's uncomment this. So what I'm doing is user info. Let's do that right. User info. So now all we have to do is just say get, replace this with users, and the data we are deserializing is this Twitch user, not a Google user. Yeah, perfect. That should work. Let's comment that out just in case. It should work. Confident in my code, as you can see. All right, so let's await get the user to get the user info, and now we'll rename this to be user.id. This should work. Now we should be able to post data. So instead of saying hi, let's let this thing actually run. And so let's give it a message instead of hi. Now posting data to Twitch workers. Okay, if this works. Oh, I didn't make the label update. Let me do one other thing to make this label update. Nothing fancy at all. What I'm doing is I'm stringing. So in OBS, you can have things watch a file for their text. So I have a Dropbox URL that I am writing to, and so let's break this out and do a couple different things. And I just need to a Dropbox file that's shared on this machine that syncs to my streaming machine that will then update that. So static, because I want to be able to watch that feedback too. Async task. Actually, it doesn't need to be async. Public, or so static void update. What is that? Topic. Okay, so for this, my const string path. We'll want to make this configurable so we can save it in the settings, but we'll get there. For now, let's just do this. So my path is box, let's hope I can remember, /live stream. Okay, I'm going to cheat. I can't remember. So, sorry, I'm going to do this off screen really quick so you guys don't see all my Dropbox stuff. Live stream. Yeah, it's called live stream, and then it is called, where is it? Current topic.txt. And since this is cross-platform, this won't work on Windows, so we'd want to make it to where you can pass that path in. Or I could use the fancy folders to get the user folder. That would do it too, but this works. All right. So now file dot, I need file.io in here. File. Let's do using system.io. File.write all text. And can't I tell it to, there's one to delete it if it exists? That's to wait. Okay, if the file already exists, it's overwritten. Okay, it already does that. Perfect. So path, comma, message. All right, now I'm going to do these in order so that way once that's done, if it succeeds, we will update topic. All right, var, I don't want to keep writing this stuff. Var message equals. Okay, so let's now move this out. So the marker should go. And then after that, it should write that file out. And put a breakpoint there because I don't like my applications just disappearing on me. Okay, so let's run this again. And, ooh, okay. Uh-oh, path not found. Wait, what? Oh, does that not work? All right. Trying to remember how to use the fancy system folders. Actually, we can, you know what? What you do on a Mac, if you want to get fancy and you want to know a file path and you don't feel like typing it out, you drag it to you drag it from Finder into there. Now I have a new path. All right, we're just gonna hard code it and we'll deal with making it fancy later. Let's try that again. Wait, so does that mean it worked? How do I check on Twitch if my markers went? That's the real key. Let's pay attention to the response. I think that would be. Oh no, never mind. I didn't do it. I'm just have it doing get user info. Ah, I got way too excited there. Okay, so what are we calling this one? Post data. I don't like that name. So let's do post. No, we call that update marker. Update stream marker. That's a better name because like, and it doesn't. You know it's with Twitch. Okay, so we'll do that. It will go. It will post. It will return a string, and so then we can see what comes out of it. Program var user ID. So now we just want to say we don't actually need this authenticate anymore. We can now do this in one call. So var or response equals API.update stream marker, and we'll pass in the message. Let's put breakpoints now. All right. And I am newing this thing up in here. It's fine since I'm using this. The way Simpleauth works for caching and things is it saves everything into based off this ID. So you can have like multiple Twitch APIs, but for this, we only need one. So reloads everything. See what happens. We got a response. Oh, I didn't await it. Okay, let's await that. Let's try again. Okay, so we posted data. We're about to post it. We have our user info. Okay, status code indicates bad request. Awesome, I did something wrong. Let's go back to documentation. All right, so inside the Twitch API, inside of this new stuff, we have, go back to the stream. Actually, if we try catch that, I get a lot more data from, let's do try. I get a lot of data from that we can get back, and so it might actually tell us what the problem is. And console. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's see what's actually happening this time. And I'm getting my fatal error again. That's right, we can downgrade to the other one if we need to. Okay, so while that's going, I want to do the stream stuff. Now that's replacing stream tags. Let's just search in here for markers. All right, create stream marker. User ID should be right. I should have that. Stream/markers. I'm doing the tokens because we authenticated. Application type defaults to JSON. Okay, let's just look at the payload that's going in as well. Let's run this again. Put my font back up. Auth is always fun. API calls are always fun. All right, so we'll put a breakpoint into here to what's going in. We can also override all kinds of stuff if we really want to start debugging in deeper, but let's start here. What? Code from autosave? What did I save? Oh, right, that's not going to work. There we go. Yes, overwrite. That's good code. That's where we want to be. Okay, so let's run this. We have the Twitch API. We're running. We're posting. We're posting user ID and description. Inside the exception, 400. If we expand this out, we can look at the data. Inside the data, I grab as much as I can. So if we look at the keys, result view, is that the one I want to see? All right, so dictionary entry. So content. The parameter user ID was malformed or invalid. Hey, there we go. Okay, so something's wrong with the user ID. I like it. Okay, so let's try again. And let's see user ID. It's empty. It's empty. What am I doing wrong? I need to authenticate first. That's what this is. Let's fix that. Okay. So something's wrong with my logic and it's not actually calling this. So let's just do first if as authenticated. We'll just pre-authenticate anyway. This one's tricky since we don't actually call this method. This get would have authenticated, but since I'm checking if we're already authenticated to get the current user info. All right. Tricky, tricky. Okay, so now we get a user ID. No, no. Let's see what's going on in here. Get user info. So it tries to get that out. Okay, so if refresh, force refresh, or current account equals null, it should continue on. Current account should be null because we haven't done anything yet. All right, let's just leave that in. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so has authenticated, false. Oh wait, authenticate. Now we move on. We have a current account. Oh, I then need to check if that user info is empty. No, that has user info. Step forward. That gives us user info. Oh, I'm serializing this all wrong, guys. I'm serializing it as this Twitch user response because this get isn't right. I did it wrong. I can't deserialize. Okay, I need to think that through. Let's just do one where we always overwrite it. So this is why this first stuff was nice, right? So what we'll do is we'll bring this stuff in here. And we'll just say this, okay? Then user info equals response dot to JSON. I added extension methods in simple auth because you're always dealing with that. And so now we get that right. So we're going to do a force refresh this next time, which will force that to happen. Like it. Okay, so update stream marker, oh, right in here. Get user info, true, and then we'll remove that because we don't have to again. All right, so if it has authenticated, current account, that is, oh, no, not response, response. User. User, that was the whole problem. All right, so we'll do that. That way we don't have to deserialize again, we'll just return the initial instance of it. All right, again, we're getting the user. This time, the user JSON is right. That's not inside an array. So now we have a user. So we have a user ID. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So let's kill that. I want to remove this force just to make sure this go round. It shouldn't go into here. It should just return this, which should give us the right user and user IDs. So happy! It's exciting when we get things working. Okay, so I don't need all of that old nonsense code. Let's return through. Did it crash or did it finish? It shouldn't have crashed. It worked though. We got a response. So exciting. So I just added a stream marker and it did not update. Oh no, it did. Yes, it updated my label too. We've gotten somewhere. The only thing I haven't done yet is make a way to tweet this out so it will also tweet as well. Now, doing that is super easy. SimpleAuth ships a bunch of providers. So we can just say static void. Actually, let's make this an async task. And let's do tweet tweet update. Okay, this is great. So inside here, we'll do var API equals new Twitter API. That doesn't exist in our current stuff. We need the namespace. I think it's called the Twitter API. Yep, Twitter API from SimpleAuth providers. It's going to ask us for a few things. First one being the identifier. We're just going to call it Twitter. Client IDs, API constants dot Twitter API key, API constants dot Twitter secret, and all right. Do I need to do anything else with that? I think I might need. Let's jump into just to make sure. I thought I had to do something with the redirect. It's not. I think I can set the redirect URL. For mine, I set mine to be localhost. Oh no, that's what it defaults to as well. Reason is this is a console app again. I want it to open up a web window. It'll redirect to localhost. We'll just sit there. I can copy that URL out and paste it back in. So now we can just say, await API dot. Did I not put tweet? Oh, put message. No. Was I lazy and did not add tweeting onto that? I really thought I did. Because if I didn't, I'm going to have to now Google their API. Actually, let's make this bigger and more readable. Like, how did I not add tweet? That is the, like, what's the purpose of a Twitter URL if you're not going to tweet? Okay, inside of old Gmusic, I have that already written, so we're just going to go steal it. Since it's iOS, it has the fallback to where it can do the native one, else fall down to mine. It's in Share Manager, right? I think that's where I put it. That's all the things for making sure it's the right size. Okay, tweet, share message. Okay, that's not the right place. I can't remember where I put that. Maybe I removed it. All right, let's go back to docs. Back to docs. Your API tweet. Post status is update. This is the one we're looking for. Okay, post status update. Okay, API 1.1.1 or 1.1. Let's see if that's what we are defaulting. Okay, it defaults to that perfectly. That's what we want. Okay, so all we have to do is hit statuses update. Oh no, that's the resource. Where? Okay. Okay, so post, that's for retweeting. I think we just hit post statuses update. So, let's jump back over to here. We can do it by doing .post and We'll just pass that path in. And then what's the data we need to put into there? All right, jumping around. Okay, let's look at what data goes in. What's that object? Wonder if this will tell us something. Nope. Okay, so you can post directly to that. Because I'm going to want to add an image, so parameters for the retweeting. I can upload media separately. Okay, now that's the retweet. Why does it take me straight to retweet? All right, post as update. About. I just want to see the JSON that goes into this. Why aren't docs simple? Why doesn't it just say this is the package? All I care about. It does for optional parameters there. All right, I have this code. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to do this search off screen because I have no idea what's going to come up when I search my whole project. Project folder. Here. I'm going to search my Twitter API inside of projects and saying here. Oh, wait. Nope, I think it's in here. Hey, Twitter API, yay! Found the code. Let's see where it posts it. Now playing. All right, if Twitter is enabled, travel to Twitter. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. There's the message. So post update JSON. Hi, that's nice and easy. I like it. Okay, and that's if it does not have integrated Twitter. If it does, okay, we don't need that because we're doing this on a console app. All right, and we could just say API.post dictionary. Let's add that thing in there. Okay, status equals message. Okay, this will not do a link, but this is something that I can easily test if it worked. Response. No idea what comes back from that either. So it's just going to give us a string. Okay, so let's update this so it's not the same message. Adding auto tweeting. Bitch. Okay, now I'm going to format this a little bit because I also want to make sure I have fancier stuff in there. So message, follow along at. I'll just do, because it is smart enough to make that into a URL. All right, now we've got we should have auto tweeting. I like it. And I'll do that after the update for now. Wait. Since we know, that way we can watch it update as well. Okay, now Twitter is going to do the same login. It's now, hey, login. It pops over, did it in my little browser again. Now I'm going to paste my tokens back in. Uh-oh. Did not like that. Didn't like it at all. Okay. This could be an issue with my authentication. All right, my authentication's broken. Darn it. All right. We did good. We got it to where Twitch is working. We're updating Twitch APIs. We're updating my stream markers. I'm going to work on figuring out why my Twitter API login's broken. But I'll do that another time. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, ask along, tweet me, email me. If you have things you'd like to see, I'm always interested in doing additional types of streaming. So thanks, guys.